Hello, I'm David Harper. The title of this video isn't clickbait. Right now, in 2026, there are places across this country where Canadian seniors, people just like you, 65 and older, legally don't pay. Not the full price, not the tax, not the fee, and in some cases, not anything at all. And here's the part that should bother you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and tell you about it. These discounts, exemptions, and rebates don't come looking for you. You have to know they exist, and you have to ask. Most Canadian seniors walk right past money that's sitting there with their name on it every single week because no cashier, no clerk, and no government office is paid to remind you. I'll be honest with you about one thing up front because there's a lot of nonsense online. These aren't brand new programs that suddenly appeared this month. Most have existed for a while. The secret isn't that they're new, it's that nobody tells you. So the money quietly stays in the store's pocket and the government's pocket instead of yours. So stay with me because today I'm giving you the full list category by category with exactly what to say and who to call to start keeping that money. Let me tell you why this matters in real dollars. A lot of Canadian seniors on a fixed income, old age security, the guaranteed income supplement, maybe a small pension, are living on somewhere between $1,400 and $2,200 a month. That's it. And out of that, you're paying for groceries, prescriptions, transit, property tax, your phone bill, and a dozen small fees that quietly add up. What I'm going to show you today are the places where you can simply stop paying. For a lot of people watching, that adds up to several $100s a month back in your pocket. Over a year, that's thousands real money on things you're already buying. Before we go any further, do one thing for me. Subscribe to this channel, and I'm not asking just to ask. Here's the practical reason. The rules around senior benefits in Canada change. Provincial budgets shift, thresholds move, new exemptions get added. The people who are subscribed find out in time while the discount is still active and the deadline is still open. The ones who aren't tend to find out after the window closed, after they already paid full price for a year. Hit subscribe and tap the bell so when one of these changes, you're the first to know, not the last. All right, here's the full list. Here's the thing most people never find out. The Canadian system isn't designed to hand you your discounts. It's designed to make them available and then stay silent. Think about how it actually works. When you turn 65, Service Canada might enroll you automatically in old age security. That part sometimes is automatic, but almost nothing else is. The GST/HST credit, you have to file a tax return to get it, even if you earned nothing. The guaranteed income supplement, you have to apply or keep your taxes current. Provincial drug coverage, property tax deferrals, senior transit passes, energy rebates, bank fee waivers. Every single one of them requires you to raise your hand and ask. And here's the contrast that costs people the most. Most seniors assume that because they've reached a certain age, the discounts just happen. That the pharmacy knows, the city knows, the bus knows, the bank knows. They don't. The system uses your age as a key that unlocks a door, but you're the one who has to walk through it. Nobody pushes you through. So when I tell you there are places where you don't pay, understand the mechanism. The government created the exemption, the retailer agreed to the discount, the province funded the rebate, but the only thing standing between you and that money is knowing it exists and taking one step. That's it. So let's go through them one by one, and for each, I'll tell you exactly what to do. Let me make this real with a made-up example because a story sticks. Let's call her Joan. Joan is 70, lives alone on her OAS and a small pension, and she's careful with every dollar. She takes 4 medications. She shops for her toiletries and household items. She takes the bus to her appointments. She owns her small home, and she has a checking account she's had for 30 years. Without ever realizing it, Joan is overpaying on every one of those fronts. She's paying close to retail for her prescriptions because she never applied for the reduced senior copay. She pays full fare on the bus because she never picked up the senior transit card. She pays her full property tax every year when her province offers a deferral. She pays a monthly fee on her bank account that the bank would waive if she asked, and she shops on whatever day is convenient, missing the weekly senior discount day at her pharmacy. Add it all up and Joan is losing somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000 a year. Not because she did anything wrong, but because nobody ever sat her down and told her to ask. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make sure you're not a Joan. Keep her in mind. I've broken this into 7 categories. Each one is a place where in 2026 you can stop paying, partly or completely. Listen for the ones that fit your situation because at least 2 or 3 apply to almost everyone over 65. This is the big one. Every province and territory has some form of senior drug coverage. In Ontario, if you're 65 or older, you're covered under the Ontario Drug Benefit. And through the Seniors Co-Payment Program, lower-income seniors pay as little as $2 per prescription, with the annual deductible dropping to $0. Here's the math. If you take 4 medications a month at full retail, say $60 each, that's $240 a month, almost $3,000 a year. Under senior coverage at the reduced copay, that same person can pay as little as $8 a month. That's the difference between nearly $3,000 a year and under $100. But you have to be enrolled, and lower-income seniors have to apply for the reduced copay. It isn't automatic. Most people don't know that option exists. Action. Ask your pharmacist whether you're on the low-income copayment stream, and if not, how to apply. Transit agencies across the country offer free or discounted senior fares, and many have expanded them. In Montreal, seniors 65 and older ride completely free on the entire STM network, completely free. In Toronto and many other cities, seniors ride at a reduced fare, and some municipalities offer free off-peak travel for seniors. If you were paying $100 a month for transit and you switch to a free or reduced senior fare, that's potentially over $1,000 a year back in your pocket, but only if you go and apply for the senior fare card. The bus driver won't stop you and say, "Did you know you ride free?" You have to set up the senior card first. Action. Go to your local transit office or city website, bring ID showing your age, and apply for the senior fare card or pass. This one is enormous, and almost nobody uses it. Most provinces offer a property tax deferral or grant for seniors. In British Columbia, if you're 55 or older, you can defer your entire property tax. Pay $0 now at a very low interest rate, with the balance settled later from your estate. In Ontario and several other provinces, there are property tax grants and deferrals for seniors on fixed incomes. On a $4,000 annual property tax bill, deferring that is $4,000 a year you keep using right now while you're alive and need it instead of handing it over. You apply through your provincial or municipal program, and most seniors never even ask. Action. Call your municipal tax office and ask about both the senior property tax deferral and the senior grant by name. Several provinces have senior-friendly energy and tax credits. The Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit, the Federal Canada Carbon Rebate, and various provincial home heating rebates can return several hundred to over $1,000 a year to a qualifying senior. The catch, and there's always a catch, is that almost all of these flow through your tax return. If you don't file, you don't get them. I've seen seniors who earned $0 income skip filing for years and lose thousands in credits they were owed the whole time. Action. File your taxes every year, even at $0 income. It's what unlocks these. This one is everyday money. Major pharmacy chains run dedicated seniors' days every week, Shoppers Drug Mart every Thursday, and Rexall every Tuesday, usually around 20% off regular priced merchandise, including a lot of over-the-counter items with your free loyalty card. Note, that's weekly, not once a month. Many grocery stores run their own senior day too, often around 10%. 20% off a $100 drugstore run is $20, and because it's weekly, you can plan every non-urgent purchase around the right day. That easily adds up to a few hundred a year for doing nothing but shopping on the right day and saying, "I'd like the senior discount." You have to ask. They won't always apply it for you. Action. Get the free loyalty cards, shop on the senior day, and ask at the till. Seniors get free or heavily reduced admission to national parks on certain days, discounted provincial park passes, reduced museum and gallery admission, and free or low-cost access to many municipal recreation centers, pools, and fitness programs. Some cities offer seniors a free or nearly free annual recreation membership. Individually, these are small, but a senior who swims twice a week or visits museums regularly easily saves several $100s a year. Plus, it keeps you active and connected, which is worth even more. Action. Ask at your city's recreation department and at any attraction about the senior rate. This is the quiet one. Most major Canadian banks waive monthly account fees for seniors, often starting at $60, but only if you ask them to switch you to the senior plan. If your account charges $16 a month and you've never asked, that's $192 a year you're handing the bank for no reason. Action. Call your branch or walk in and say, "I'd like the senior fee waiver on my account." It takes 5 minutes and it can stop the same day. So add it up. Drug savings, free or reduced transit, deferred property tax, energy rebates, 20% off shopping every week, free recreation, no bank fees. For a typical senior who uses even most of these, that isn't a few dollars. That's conservatively a few thousand a year. Money you're leaving on the table if you don't claim it. Let me put rough numbers to it so it stops being abstract, because a few thousand doesn't land the way real figures do. I'll keep these conservative. Your own numbers may be higher. Start with prescriptions. A senior moved on to the reduced copay can go from paying, say, $150 a month to under $20. Call that conservatively $1,500 a year saved. Now transit. Switch from a full fare monthly pass to a free or deeply discounted senior fare, and you're looking at several hundred to over $1,000 a year depending on your city. Let's say $600. Property tax, if you own and you defer, can be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year kept in your account. But let's leave that one aside because not everyone owns. And just look at the rest. The retail senior day, 20% off your drugstore and household shopping week after week, easily comes to $200 or $300 a year for an average shopper. The bank fee waiver, call it $200. Recreation and admission discounts for someone who's active, another $200 or $300. And the tax return credits, the GST, HST credit, the energy and property tax credits. For a lower income senior, those alone can total well over $1,000 a year. Add just those up, leaving property tax out entirely. $1,500 for drugs, $600 for transit, $300 retail, $200 banking, $300 recreation, $1,000 plus in credits. That's already around $4,000 a year for a renter before we even touch the property tax deferral that a homeowner could add on top. $4,000 on a fixed income. That's not pocket change. That's groceries for months. That's the difference between a tight year and a comfortable one. And it's sitting there right now waiting for you to ask. I want to slow down on 3 of those categories because in my experience, these are the 3 where seniors leave the most money behind and where one phone call changes the most. The first is property tax. I know tax deferral sounds like something complicated or like a trap. So let me explain it plainly because the fear is what stops people. In a province like British Columbia, the deferral program lets a qualifying senior simply not pay their property tax bill each year. The province pays it for you, and they put a low interest charge on the home that gets settled later, usually when the home is eventually sold or passed on. You are not losing your home. You are not borrowing from a bank. You are not signing away anything to a stranger. You are using a government program on purpose to keep $4,000 or $5,000 a year in your own bank account during the years you actually need it, instead of being house rich and cash poor counting pennies, while thousands of dollars walk out the door every year to the municipality. For a lot of seniors who own their home outright but are squeezed on monthly cash, this single program is the biggest one on the whole list. And the only reason most people don't use it is that nobody explained it without the scary words. The second is the drug copay. People hear I have drug coverage and assume they're already getting the best rate. But there are often 2 streams, the standard one and a low-income stream where the copay drops to almost nothing and the deductible disappears. Seniors who would clearly qualify for the low-income stream sit on the standard one for years, paying more every single month because nobody at the counter is going to volunteer. You'd pay less if you applied for the other program. That's not their job. So you have to be the one to ask the exact question. Am I on the low-income seniors co-payment? And if not, how do I apply? Those words can take your prescription costs from real money down to a couple of dollars a fill. The third is the bank fee. This one is almost insulting in how easy it is. Banks have senior account plans that waive the monthly fee, and they will keep charging you the regular fee for years, quietly, automatically, until the day you ask. They are not going to phone you and say, "We noticed you turned 60. Let's stop charging you." You phone them. One sentence. "Please move me to the senior plan and waive my monthly fee," and it can stop that same day on an account you've had for 30 years. $200 a year for one phone call you can make in the time it takes to boil the kettle. Because so much of this is provincial, let me give you a quick sense of where to look depending on where you live. This isn't every detail. Confirm your own, but it tells you the door to knock on. If you're in Ontario, your keywords are the Ontario Drug Benefit and the Seniors Co-Payment for your prescriptions, the Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit on your tax return, and the Guaranteed Annual Income System gains for the lowest income seniors. Property tax relief runs through your municipality, so call your city or town directly. If you're in British Columbia, the standout is the Property Tax Deferment Program starting at age 55, one of the most generous in the country, plus fair pharmacare for drug costs and the provincial transit discounts. If you're in Quebec, you've got some of the best transit deals in the country. Montreal's STM is free for seniors 65 and up, along with the provincial drug plan and the shelter allowance program for low-income seniors with housing costs. If you're in Alberta, look up the Alberta Seniors Benefit, the Seniors Drug Coverage, and dental and optical assistance for seniors, which a lot of people don't realize exists. And if you're anywhere else, the Atlantic provinces, the prairies, the territories, the pattern is identical. A provincial seniors benefit, a provincial drug plan, a property tax break, and an energy or heating rebate. The names change. The four doors are the same. Search your province seniors benefits and ask about those four by category. Let me give you one more quick example because I don't want you to think this is only for the lowest incomes. Picture a man, call him Bill, 74, comfortable enough, a decent pension, owns his home. Bill assumes none of this is for him because he's not poor. So he never asks about anything. And here's what Bill misses: the bank fee waiver, which has nothing to do with income, and that's age. The 20% senior day at the pharmacy. Age, not income. The free or reduced transit, the museum and recreation rates, the senior park pass, all age, not income. Bill is leaving well over $1,000 a year on the table purely out of the belief that discounts are charity for someone worse off. They're not. A good chunk of this list is simply the price seniors pay because they reached an age and you reached it. Don't let pride or a wrong assumption cost you the easy money. Check everyone regardless of your income. Now, I have to be straight with you about how people lose this money because it's almost never one big mistake. It's silence. Here's what happens. A senior assumes they don't qualify, so they never apply. Or they apply once years ago, get turned down because their income was slightly too high that year, and they never try again, even after their income dropped, and they would now qualify. And here's the part that stings, and I want to be accurate about it. Some of these are time limited. The GIS, for example, generally only back pays about 11 months. So if you were eligible for years and never applied, much of that is simply gone. Other things like the income-tested tax credits, the GST, HST credit, the energy credits can often be recovered for past years by filing or refiling those returns. So it's not all lost forever, but the longer you wait, the more of the time-limited money slips away for good. Let me say the key part clearly. Service Canada doesn't call you to say you qualified last year and missed it. The province doesn't mail you a check for the rebate you didn't claim. The bank doesn't refund the fees you could have waived. That gap sits there silently year after year, costing you hundreds or thousands. And for the time-limited benefits, once that window closes, it's shut. I've heard of cases like a widow living on $1,200 a month who qualified for the full guaranteed income supplement for 2 years and never applied because nobody told her. Potentially over $20,000 she'll never fully recover. Not because she wasn't entitled, she was, but because no one is paid to come find you. None of these programs come looking for you. That's the entire problem. And it's also the entire solution, because the fix is simply to act starting this week. Before the steps, let me clear up a few beliefs I hear constantly. If I qualified, somebody would have told me. Nobody is assigned to tell you. The store profits from full price. The system pays what's on file. The information comes to you only if you go get it. My income's too low to bother filing taxes. That's backwards. For a low-income senior, the tax return is the master key that unlocks the GST, HST credit, the GIS, and the provincial credits. Low income is the reason to file, not the reason to skip it. I asked once and got a no, so that's that. Days, thresholds, and your own income all change over time. A no last year or at one location doesn't mean no forever. Ask again and ask each program on its own. These discounts must be automatic with my card or my age. The card and the age open the door, but you usually still have to ask for the discount to be applied or apply for the program. Step 1 is being eligible. Step 2 is claiming it. So here's exactly what to do in order, so there's no confusion. Step 1, file your taxes every single year, even if your income is zero. This is the master key. The GST, HST credit, the GIS, provincial energy, and property tax credits, almost all of it flows through your tax return. No return, no benefits. If you haven't filed in years, you can often still file back returns and recover credits for prior years. Call the Canada Revenue Agency at 1-800-959-8281 and ask which years you can still claim. And if filing is the barrier, the free Community Volunteer Income Tax Program does it for low-income seniors at no cost. Search free tax clinics on canada.ca. Step 2, confirm your federal benefits. Call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914 and say, I want to confirm I'm receiving everything I qualify for under Old Age Security and the Guaranteed Income Supplement. Have your social insurance number ready and ask directly whether you now qualify for the GIS based on your current income, because if your income dropped recently, you may qualify even if you didn't before. Step 3. Contact your provincial seniors program. Every province has one. Search in your province seniors benefits or look up your provincial service line. In Ontario, that's Service Ontario. Ask specifically by name about the senior property tax deferral or grant, the drug benefit copay reduction, and energy rebates. Ask for each one by name because the general agent won't list them for you. Step 4. Get your transit and recreation cards. Go to your local transit office or city hall. Bring photo ID showing your age and apply for the Senior Transit Pass and the Senior Recreation Membership. Many cities now let you do this online. Step 5. Call your bank. Phone the number on the back of your card or visit the branch and say, please switch my account to the senior plan and waive my monthly fees. 5 minutes. Step 6. Ask every single time you shop at the pharmacy, the grocery store, the museum, the cinema, the hardware store. Ask, do you have a senior discount? Before you pay. The worst they say is no. The best is 20% off. Make it a habit and it pays you everywhere you go. Write these 6 steps down or come back to this video because this is the part that actually puts the money in your hands. I rent. I don't own. Does any of this apply to me? Most of it. The drug coverage, transit, retail days, recreation, bank fees, and the tax credits don't depend on owning a home. Only the property tax one is for homeowners. Renters, this is very much for you. My income isn't that low. Am I shut out? Not from everything. The income-tested ones, GIS, the reduced drug copay, some energy credits favor lower incomes, but the bank fee waiver, retail senior days, transit, and recreation rates are based on age, not income. So, check them all. Do I need a computer for any of this? No. Every step here can be done by phone or in person. Your pharmacist, your branch, your city's transit office, the CRA and Service Canada phone lines. You never have to do it online if you're not comfortable. Will claiming these lower my GIS or other benefits? In most cases, no. A waived fee or a retail discount lowers your costs. It doesn't raise your income. If you're ever unsure how the pieces interact, a free tax clinic can walk you through your situation. My spouse and I are both seniors. Do we each get these? Yes. On your own purchases and accounts, 2 senior bank fee waivers, 2 loyalty cards, 2 senior fares. For a couple, it effectively doubles. What's the one thing to do first if I do nothing else? File your taxes if you haven't and call Service Canada to confirm your GIS. Those 2 unlock the biggest dollars. Everything else builds on them. I find phone calls exhausting. Is there an easier way? Pick one a week. Don't try to do all 6 steps in a day. This week, just call the bank. Next week, ask the pharmacist one question. The week after, the city about transit. 6 small actions over 6 weeks, and you've claimed the whole list without it ever feeling like a chore. Slow is fine. Stopped is what costs you. I'm embarrassed to ask for a discount. Don't be. These programs were created on purpose, funded by your own tax dollars over a lifetime of work for exactly this stage of your life. Asking for the senior rate isn't begging. It's collecting something you already paid for. The cashier hears it 50 times a day. Say it plainly. Do you have a senior discount? It gets easier every time. What if the person I talk to says they've never heard of it? That happens, especially with the property tax deferral or the low-income drug stream. Don't take a frontline no as final. Politely ask to speak to a supervisor or call the program directly by its name rather than a general line. The program exists whether or not the first person you reach knows about it. Can my son or daughter handle this for me? Yes, and it's a great thing to ask them to do. For government calls, they may need you on the line to give verbal permission, or you can set up authorized representative access with the CRA and Service Canada. For the bank, the pharmacy, the city, a family member can absolutely help you sort it out in an afternoon. Share this video with them and make it a project you do together. Let's bring it all together. Here's the full list, 1 line each, built around the single action you need to take. Prescription drugs. Enroll in your provincial senior drug plan and apply for the reduced copay, as little as $2 a prescription. Public transit. Apply for the senior fare card. In some cities, completely free. Property tax, apply for the senior deferral or grant. Keep thousands a year while you're alive to use it. Energy and sales rebates. File your taxes every year, even at 0 income to unlock them. Retail and pharmacy senior days. Shoppers every Thursday. Rexall every Tuesday. Around 20%. Shop the right day and ask. Recreation and parks. Apply for the senior membership and pass. Free or near free access. Banking fees. Call your bank and ask for the senior fee waiver. And the one thing under all of it, file your taxes and ask for everything by name, because none of these programs come looking for you. Not one. The government built the door, the store set the discount, but you're the only person who can walk through. The only thing standing between you and this money is knowing it exists and taking one step. So, take it this week. A quick note. This is general information to help you claim what's available, not financial or legal advice. And programs, amounts, ages, and eligibility vary by province and store and change over time. Always confirm the current offer with your specific local store, your municipality, your provincial program, or the CRA before you rely on any figure here. If this helped you, subscribe so you catch the next change before the deadline, not after. And do one more thing for me. Share this with one specific person, a parent, a neighbor down the street, a friend from church living on a fixed income who would never hear about any of this otherwise. They need it more than they know. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.